Next method is called getMime. So public static function getMime. Type actually. Then we pass the file name, by default null. And first we check if is an empty file and is file. Then we're going to do something, otherwise we return false. So if it isn't empty and it is a file, then we check if class exists, and we're looking for the class FINFO, file info, and then we put false as a second parameter. Then we do else if function exists, and we're looking for the function called mime underscore content underscore type. So this is the fallback. And if none of these conditions is true, then we're going to return false. We start with the class exists finfo. We start with object finfo equals new finfo, and we pass in the constant here, which will be file info underscore mime. And then we go for type equals object finfo file, and we pass in the file as a parameter. And now return substring, and we're looking for the type starting from 0, string position. We're looking for the type, and then semicolon, which will be basically return the length of the string of our mime type from obviously calling this specific file method here. Now, if we obviously haven't got a finfo class installed, which comes by default with PHP 5.3, then we're looking for the mime content type. And with mime content type, we simply create a new variable called mime type, for instance, and then we use this new function, mime content type, and we pass in the name of the file, and all we need to return now is just the name of this specific variable. And that's our getMime type. Now, just to finish with our helper class, let's create the last method in this specific class, which is called remove files. And we're going for public static function remove files, and we're giving it a parameter files to remove equals null by default. Now we check if is an empty, and I'm going to copy the name of this parameter here. And what we're going to do is first make sure that it's an array. Is array files to remove, otherwise put it inside of the array so that we can loop through it. Now for each files to remove as file, and we go if is file, then what we need to do is simply unlink it. So unlink and the name of the file with the path, obviously. And that's our helper class completed. Now, before we go to the next chapter, I've just realized that I've made a mistake here, obviously. In get files by extension, we've got this extension equal is array extension question mark, and we go straight away to array extensions. We obviously first need to return just extensions because we're checking if this specific variable is an array. If it is, then we return it, otherwise we put it inside of the array. And now I'm just going to quickly check and validate the document. There are no PHP syntax errors, so we are now all good to move to the next chapter.